Hello, everyone. My name is Kumud Sharma, and I have been a passionate educator, say, for the past 34 years. Teaching has been more than just a profession for me, it's truly my calling. My expertise lies in teaching primary classes, wherein I enjoy nurturing young minds and building strong foundational skills in the children. Over all these years, when I have been working, my roles have gone beyond the classroom, contributing to curriculum planning as well, mentoring my fellow teachers, and supporting student development in multiple ways. I believe in creating engaging and interactive learning environments. And I'm excited about this opportunity to bring about my experience and energy into this session that I am invited to. So, once again, a very warm good morning to all present. It's a pleasure to be speaking with you, all of you, today. I want to begin by acknowledging the dedication that all of you bring, whether you are teaching in a bustling city school or in a quite rural classroom. We all share the same dream. We want our children to grow up, not just to know facts, but truly know how to learn. Let me share a moment many of us will surely relate to. Imagine a child, and let's name her Ananya, struggling with her project at home. She is making a solar system model, and after 10 minutes of fumbling with glue, paper, scissors, she looks frustrated. Her parent, with the best of intentions, takes over and finishes it for her. So, what is the result? A perfect model. But what did Ananya learn in this? Not how to solve problems, neither how to be patient, and even also not how to improve. She only learned that someone else will come to help her when she struggles. This is where our challenge lies. Helping too much out of love or out of urgency. It often leads to what we call as the learner's helplessness. Children lose this belief that they are capable of their own. Maria Montessori once said, never help a child with a task which he feels he can succeed at. This is what is the main crux of our session today. So now the question arises is, why does independence matters? Independence matters because children, they are born curious. Anyone present here or anyone who listens to this will relate that if you have spent even 5 minutes with a 5-year-old child, you know the endless streams of whys they have. Why? 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 But unless we nurture that curiosity and give them the ownership, they begin to depend on us for every answer. Let me tell you about a child who was a grade 3 student. He always looked at his peer's notebook before writing down his answers. He was not confident about writing the answers on his own. Instead of reprimanding him, the teacher, who was a good observer, she asked him to demonstrate a science activity in front of the class. Probably she had seen that he had much interest in science. It was a simple vinegar and baking soda volcano making activity. For the first time, that boy wasn't nervous. He was not looking at anybody else because he was the leader. His face lit up with joy when his experiment fizzed, and the applause that was given by his classmates. Within next few weeks, his reliance on copying from his peers to frame answers, it decreased. So this is the change we educators can bring about in a child. Let me cite another example here of a child who was very shy and she was in grade 4. And let's say her name was Meera. She used to ask for help for every single math problem. Her teacher, she tried a new approach. Instead of solving the problem for her, she gave Meera a thinking notebook where she had to jot down at least 2 attempts before she approached the teacher to ask for help. Within next few months, Meera was solving sums independently. Not always correctly, of course, but with far more confidence. Why does this matter? This matters because independent learners build resilience when things don't go their way. They also learn to persist and solve problems creatively. They retain knowledge longer because it's theirs, it is not borrowed. When we allow children to take ownership, we give them the foundation to become lifelong learners. So we can say that when children feel ownership, they are not just preparing for the tests or the exams, they are preparing for their life. So here we have to change from instructors to facilitators, which is the demand of the day. Traditionally, we teachers have been like knowledge providers. We write on the board and they copied. This was the old traditional method. We explained and they repeated. But that model makes children very dependent on others. The facilitators, which we are supposed to become right now, is quite different from this traditional one. It is not about giving answers, but guiding discovery. Here, I will share an example of a grade 2 student. He asked his teacher, how do we spell caterpillar? A very simple word, but too much for a grade 2 child. The teacher could have spelled it out for him. Instead, she thought for a moment and she asked him, what tools can you use to find this spelling? Arjun thought for a moment and then he went towards the class library. And in the one of the books, he found the word himself. That particular moment of discovery stayed with him far longer than rote memorization. So this is very important. So similarly, another example of a grade 1 student. The teacher put up a puzzle to the students that what melts faster, ice with sugar or ice in. Only discussion. She divided the class into groups and she gave them some bowls in which there was ice with salt and another bowl there was ice with sugar. They were amazed to see. And the finding they found out was that the salt with ice melted faster. And when they discovered the answer themselves, their learning deepened and their happiness knew no bounds. So there are many practical strategies which we can use to become facilitators from instructors. So one of them is choice sports. For a project on animals, children can choose to make a drawing or write a poem or perform a role play or build a model. So various other ways can also be added to this long list. This allows different kinds of talents to shine because as every child has got a different ability. Another one with strategy is peer teaching. In grade 4, when one of the child explained long division to her classmates, She learned even better than when the teacher had explained this, because she has again gone through the concept and then she has learned the more nitty-gritty details about it. There are guided questions also. Instead of the teacher says that here's the answer, say, the teacher should say, what might you try first? By moving from the instructor to the facilitator, we shift the responsibility from us to them. This is very important and much needed thing in today's times. So we have to build an environment. It is just not about our teaching style. It's also about the environment we create. Various strategies I have shared, but what kind of environment are we giving our students in the class? There was a teacher in some school in Bengaluru only. She introduced a self-check station. So when the students, they came to submit their work, they compared their work with a checklist that was pasted there by the teacher on the wall. Within next few months, the number of errors in the notebooks reduced. But more importantly, the children said that I checked it myself. That sense of ownership, you can relate to it. It was priceless. I can give you one more example here. A child was made the leader of the line. His job was to lead the class quietly from one activity to another and to bring them back to the class. But this boy, who was usually restless, became more focused when he felt that he was being trusted and he was given a huge responsibility of taking all the children in a line to the activity room and bringing them back. Similarly, a small child of grade 1, she usually forgot her books. The teacher introduced a visual timetable on the board showing pictures of the books and the supplies that were needed in every period. She developed that habit, and without relying on her teacher's reminders, slowly and gradually she could prepare on her own, because that timetable got fixed into her mindset now. Now she was prepared. Otherwise, everything was rolling in her mind, and she never could make out that which book and which supplies were needed in the class. Similarly, there was one independence corner in one of the classrooms. It had puzzles, extra books, and simple science kits. So whenever the students, those who were fast writers, when they finished earlier, they could choose an activity. This not only reduced the disruption caused by the children who finished their work fast, but also encouraged self-directed learning. We can put some comprehension passages there, some topics for creative writing also there. So this all can be done by the teacher at her own discretion, whatever she thinks needs to be done in our class according to the age level. Independence thrives in an atmosphere of trust. The message we send here is very clear. I believe you can do this. The moment we trust the children, we build that environment in the class that is much needed and much appreciated by the students. So, very important part of this topic, partnering with parents. Parents are really the backbone of what we are doing, and they carry forward with the children at home. No matter how well we structure our classrooms, parents play a huge role. Often they want to help so much that they end up doing the work themselves. This is the example that I cited in the beginning of my session also, and mostly parents do. even for the simplest and simplest of things, like writing in the notebooks also. Take, for example, a grade 4 student. Her artwork assignments always looked like they came from an art college. The teacher soon discovered that her mother was doing the work for the child. The teacher invited the mother to the class and she showed her a beautiful mess wall, a display of the unfinished drafts of the students' work was displayed in the class, and it was named as Beautiful Mess Wall. She explained, these are the mistakes where the learning is happening. From then on, that child's mother stopped helping her child. And as a result, when she submitted her work, it was less polished. It was her original work, but it was hers, and she was proud to present it to the teacher. So there's now another example I would like to share. There was a child named Rahul whose father insisted on perfect homework. So he was also called to the school, and the teacher showed him two pieces of work. One which was heavily corrected by the father at home, and the one messy but independent work of the child. She asked, which of these two works shows me that Rahul knows or Rahul has learned? That shifted the parents' perspective. So we as facilitators, not as instructors, can guide parents by sharing rubrics that show effort and creativity matter. It is not neatness always. Explaining during the PTMs and during the student-led conferences that we have, and instilling this in the students as well, who are the good messengers between the teachers and the parents, that independence builds confidence. Sharing before and after samples to highlight growth over perfection. But this can't be done every time. But yes, we can try so that we can teach the parents as well, because they are the partners who have to work with us for the betterment of the child. A helpful phrase here to highlight whatever is said. We want problem solvers, not perfect score chasers. Finally, true independence, it comes from when the children begin to reflect on their own learning. Metacognition, thinking about thinking, is a skill where young children can develop. And it is very important these days to sit and reflect upon every action of yours. During a math activity, a teacher asked, what helped you solve today's sums in the class? One child said, I drew pictures. Another said, I counted on my fingers. Just by verbalizing, they became aware of their strategies. There was another one such activity that happened in grade 4, and it was a group activity. Each student, after doing the group activity, filled up one exit slip, like questions like, what did I do well? Where did I get stuck? What will I try better next time? Even the younger children can do this. Even grade 1 and grade 2 can do this. A grade 1 child was asked, show me with your thumbs up, thumbs sideways, or thumbs down. How much you have understood. If you have understood, thumbs up. If somewhat and somewhat is still you are not clear about, the thumbs by side. And if not at all, then thumbs down. That simple gesture also helps the students to stop and reflect that what do they want to show? Have they understood the whole concept? Or something is understood and something is still left to understand? and did not understand at all also can be the option. Over time, the students, they will begin to see their mistakes not as failures but as steps in growth. But this all will depend on the facilitator, which we should be. That mindset is the hallmark of independence. So let me conclude. And to summarize independence, it is built through small and intentional steps. Our role must shift from instructors to facilitators. The classroom environment, it must be inviting, trustworthy, and they should feel responsible. Parents must be our partners, and reflection must be the heart of learning. When we step back a little, the children, they step forward. When we let go of control, they take the ownership, which is the demand of the day. And when we nurture independence early, very early stages from the pre-primary also, we raise not just learners, but thinkers and explorers and lifelong problem solvers. Thank you for being part of this journey. Let's all commit to raising not just learners, but thinkers, not just performers, but explorers. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kumud. Can you stop sharing your screen, ma'am? Thank you. So here are a couple of questions I wanted to ask you, ma'am. The
You
first
want to ask?
question, yes. The first question is, how do you envision future-ready schools and what would you suggest?
How do you envision? Sorry.
Future-ready schools and what steps would you suggest for the management or the educators?
I have not understood your question. Can you repeat, please?
How do you envision future-ready schools and what steps would you suggest to the
Okay.
educators?
Ma'am, the future ready schools, they are like all I said about here also,
Yeah.
that we have to be at the back end, working more only facilitating for them and trying to incorporate all these new strategies that are actually coming up and ensure that every teacher is learning these new skills and using it in the classroom.
Mhm. So, ma'am, how do you prioritize your own personal growth and development as an educational leader?
How do I prioritize?
Yes.
Okay. It is like I prioritize through reflective practices, attending many leadership workshops also. Reading, I read a lot, and I keep seeking the mentorship from my seniors. And I am a curious person, always open to learn, like every day has been a learning experience. And all these learnings that happen, whether they are from my peer group, whether they are from my seniors, or whether it is from the workshops that I attend, I try to incorporate them to be leading with fresh perspectives and resilience.
Great. So, ma'am, in your vast experience, what challenges have you faced in your career and how have you overcome them?
What challenges have I faced
Yes.
in my career?
Yes.
As I said that I am a very positive person, I have taken up every challenge as a new learning experience. I have tried to overcome them and find a way out. I will not be able to name any challenge because I have never kept them in my mind as a challenge. And I have always thought with a very cool mind and tried to find a solution rather than having a panic attack about the challenge that I have. So it's
Great.
been a nice journey and learning experiences. I don't remember any of my challenge which I was not able to solve and go ahead, move ahead in this.
Right, ma'am. So, in your career, again, like in your experience, can you share some notable achievements of students under your guidance?
Whatever I have said during my session today, they are more or less from my own personal experience, and I have just changed the names of the children there.
Okay.
That I have always tried to be a facilitator. I have tried to change as the times have changed. I have really learned a lot. And as I said, that from instructor to facilitator, this journey was not smooth, but it was this a big transition that has happened. And I am a part of this transition. And I am proud to say that I have imbibed all these skills.
Great, ma'am. Coming to the values, ma'am, what values do you believe are essential for shaping young minds and building future ready schools?
Core values, like you say, integrity, compassion, empathy, resilience, these are the real values which are the pillars to shape the young minds. I believe that these values, they are not only responsible for shaping individuals, but they also build strong future ready communities, which we really have to work upon to bring about a very positive change in the community where we are living.
Right. So, coming to the role of the educators, what role do you think educators play in shaping next generation of leaders and citizens?
Teachers, they are known to be the nation builders. We build the nation and we are responsible for building up various other professions as well. So we shape the confidence, we shape the values, and we also change the outlook of the students. And it is we who nurture these young minds to become thoughtful leaders and active citizens. So our role goes beyond academics. As I said in my introduction also, it goes beyond academics in instilling empathy, responsibility, and courage.
Nice. So, last but not the least, ma'am, how do you see the education landscape evolving in the next 5 to 10 years?
Mm, In the next 5 to 10 years, I think the education will be more personalized and digital and skill oriented. Schools must prepare students not just for careers, but for life. And at our school, we are integrating this all technology and sustainability and global citizenship into our curriculum, which I think everybody nowadays is doing to prepare students for that future that we are looking at.
Nice to know, ma'am. Thank you for the talk and for patiently answering all the questions, ma'am. Before I end this session, anything else you want to mention?
No, ma'am, thank you. It was a very nice experience, and I loved each and every moment of this.
Thank,
Thank
thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much, ma'am. I'll end the session.
Thank you.